January 14th, 2024, 3:27 a.m., Gulf of Aden. The watch officer sees them on radar first. 12 contacts, moving fast, heading directly toward the convoy. Speed, 35 knots. Range, 18 miles. He grabs the radio. All ships, this is Convoy Commander. We have multiple fast movers inbound. Bearing 047. This is not a drill. 250. Somali pirates are about to launch the largest coordinated attack in a decade, and they picked the wrong convoy. Navy warfare breaks down the battle that ended piracy's comeback. Somali piracy was supposed to be over. From 2008 to 2012, pirates controlled the Gulf of Aden. They hijacked over 200 ships, took thousands of hostages, extracted hundreds of millions in ransom. The international community responded with naval patrols, armed guards on merchant ships, prosecutions. By 2018, piracy was nearly extinct, but 2023 changed everything. The civil war in Somalia intensified, poverty increased. Young men with no opportunities looked to the sea. The old pirate networks reactivated. New leaders emerged. Better tactics developed. By December 2023, piracy incidents tripled compared to the previous year. The pirates were back. January 2024. Intelligence reports suggest something big is coming. Multiple pirate crews are coordinating. They're pooling resources, planning a major operation. The target, a high-value military convoy. January 10th. The convoy assembles in the Arabian Sea. 4 cargo ships carrying military equipment from Diego Garcia to the Suez Canal. Tanks, artillery, ammunition. Destination, U.S. bases in Europe. Total value, $840 million. The convoy is escorted by 1 Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, USS McFall, 90 crew members, 1 5-inch gun, missile systems, close-in weapons, helicopters. It should be enough. The pirates think otherwise. For 3 days, the convoy transits peacefully. The ships maintain formation. The destroyer patrols the perimeter. Standard operations. No threats detected. But intelligence is tracking unusual activity on the Somali coast. January 13th, 2100 hours. Satellites detect multiple vessels launching from Isle, Garakad, and Hobyo, 3 major pirate strongholds. The boats head out to sea. At least 15 vessels total. Naval intelligence alerts USS McFall. Possible pirate activity ahead. Maintain elevated alert status. The destroyer's commanding officer increases readiness. Extra lookouts. Weapon stations manned. Helicopters prepped for launch. He's not taking chances. January 14th, Oro 200 hours. The destroyer's radar picks up contacts. Multiple small vessels. Approximately 50 miles ahead. Moving in patterns consistent with pirate search operations. They're looking for targets. The convoy is heading right toward them. 0327 hours. The situation changes. 12 radar contacts suddenly accelerate, all heading directly toward the convoy. The tactical picture is clear. This isn't random. This is coordinated attack. The commanding officer makes decisions rapidly. Sound general quarters. Launch both helicopters. Weapons free on any vessel that demonstrates hostile intent. The alarm sounds throughout USS McFall. Sailors sprint to battle stations. The ship goes from routine patrol to combat readiness in 90 seconds. This is what they train for. 0331 hours. 2 MH-60R Seahawk helicopters launch. They climb to 500 feet. Night vision systems activate. The FLIR, forward-looking infrared, cameras scan the sea surface. The thermal imaging shows everything, and what they see is terrifying. Not 12 boats, at least 20, maybe more. They're approaching from 3 directions, north, northeast, and east, trying to surround the convoy. This is a wolf pack attack. The lead helicopter pilot radios the destroyer. Overwatch 1 has visual on multiple skiffs. Count at least 20 vessels. Estimate 10 to 12 personnel per boat. They're armed. ICRPGs, automatic weapons, ladders. 250 pirates, maybe more. This is the largest pirate force assembled in the Gulf of Aden since 2011. Comment if you'd defend this convoy against 250 pirates and 20-plus boats. The commanding officer processes the information. 20 boats, 250 pirates. They're trying to overwhelm defenses through numbers. Traditional anti-piracy tactics won't work. You can't board and arrest 250 people while under attack. This requires force, overwhelming force. He gets on the radio. All merchant vessels, this is McFall. Increase speed to maximum. Tighten formation. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. We're going weapons hot. The cargo ships acknowledge. Their engines surge to full power. 18 knots. Not fast enough to outrun pirate skiffs doing 35 knots. But every bit helps. USS McFall positions between the pirates and the convoy. The destroyer becomes a shield. To reach the cargo ships, the pirates must get past 9,000 tons of warship. Good luck with that. 0335 hours. The first pirate boats enter weapons range, 8,000 yards. The destroyer's 5-inch gun can reach out 13 miles, but the rules of engagement require warning shots first. Demonstrate that force will be used. Give them a chance to break off. The commanding officer authorizes warning shots. Boom. The 5-inch gun fires. The shell screams over the lead pirate skiff. It impacts 100 yards ahead of them. The water column rises 200 feet. The message is clear. Turn back or the next one hits you. The pirates don't turn back. They accelerate. 0337 hours. The pirate boats split into 3 groups. 8 boats continue straight at the convoy. 6 boats swing wide to the north. 6 more swing south. They're trying to flank the destroyer. Attack from multiple directions simultaneously. Classic tactics. Overwhelm the defenses. Someone will get through. The commanding officer anticipated this. Engage the direct threat group. Helicopters take the flanking groups. Fire for effect. The 5-inch gun rotates, locks on the lead pirate skiff. The fire control system calculates range, wind, ship motion. The solution is perfect. Boom, boom, boom. 3 rapid shots. The first shell hits 20 feet in front of the lead skiff. The explosion flips the boat. Bodies fly through the air. The skiff sinks in seconds. The second and third shells target the following boats. Direct hits. Both skiffs disintegrate. Fiberglass and wood versus high-explosive naval artillery is not a fair fight. 3 boats down. 17 to go. But the northern and southern groups are still closing. 5,000 yards now. The helicopters move to intercept. 0339 hours. Overwatch 1 engages the northern group. The MH-60R Seahawk carries 2 weapon systems, a 7.62mm machine gun mounted in the door, and Hellfire missiles. The pilot chooses the machine gun first. The door gunner opens fire. The M240 machine gun spits 750 rounds per minute. Tracer rounds light up the darkness. The bullets walk across the lead pirate skiff. Sparks fly as rounds hit the engine. The boat slows, stops, dead in the water. The other boats in the northern group scatter. They weren't expecting aerial attack. The plan was overwhelm the destroyer. Nobody told them about helicopters. Overwatch 2 engages the southern group with similar results. Machine gun fire rakes 3 skiffs. 1 catches fire. The gasoline tanks explode. The boat becomes an inferno. The pirates in the southern group turn away. They've had enough. But the central group is still coming. 5 boats remaining after the destroyer's initial engagement. They're 3,000 yards from the convoy now. Close enough to see the cargo ships. Close enough to start shooting. 0341 hours. The pirates open fire. AK-47s. PKM machine guns. RPGs. The volume of fire is intense. Hundreds of rounds per minute. Most splash harmlessly into the ocean. But some hit USS McFall's hull. Ping, ping, ping. Small arms fire against a destroyer is like throwing rocks at a tank. Ineffective. But the pirates aren't trying to sink the destroyer. They're trying to suppress it. Keep the crew's heads down while other boats slip past. It won't work. The destroyer's close-in weapon system activates. The Phalanx CIWS is designed to shoot down missiles, but it works great on pirate boats too. The 20mm Gatling gun rotates toward the nearest skiff. The radar locks. The barrels spin up. Brrrt! 3,000 rounds per minute. The sound is distinctive, unmistakable. The 20mm rounds tear through the pirate boat like paper. The skiff disintegrates. Debris and bodies hit the water. 4 boats left in the central group. They're breaking off, turning away. The attack is collapsing. But then something unexpected happens. 0343 hours. One pirate boat doesn't turn away. It accelerates, directly toward USS McFall, speed increasing. 40 knots. The boat is heading straight for the destroyer's hull. The watch officer sees it. Possible suicide attack. Ramming course. This changes everything. If that boat hits the destroyer at 40 knots, it could do serious damage, especially if it's carrying explosives. The USS Cole was nearly sunk by a boat bomb in 2000. The commanding officer doesn't hesitate. CIWS engage, now. The phalanx rotates, locks, fires. Burt. The 20mm rounds shred the pirate boat at 1,000 yards. The engine explodes. The boat veers left and flips. It slides to a stop 500 yards from the destroyer. No explosion. It wasn't a suicide boat. Just a desperate pirate making a final run. He paid for it with his life. Who wins pirates versus modern destroyer? A. Pirates. B. U.S. Navy. C. Draw. Drop your vote. 0345 hours. The battle is effectively over. 3 pirate boats are sinking. 5 are burning. 4 are dead in the water with destroyed engines. The remaining boats are fleeing at maximum speed. The helicopters pursue. Overwatch 1 tracks 3 boats fleeing north. The pilot radios for authorization. McFall, Overwatch 1, request permission to engage fleeing vessels. The commanding officer considers. The immediate threat is over. The convoy is safe. Pursuing fleeing pirates could be seen as excessive force, but these pirates will attack again. They'll regroup, recruit more men, hit another convoy, more ships, more hostages. The decision is tactical and strategic. Overwatch 1, you are authorized to engage. Disable their boats. Prevent escape. The helicopter pilot acknowledges. He switches to Hellfire missiles. The AGM-114 Hellfire is overkill for a pirate skiff, but it guarantees the job gets done. The missile launches. Infrared seeker tracks the boat's engine heat. Impact at 2 miles. The pirate boat explodes. Nothing remains but debris. Overwatch 1 engages the other 2 fleeing boats. 2 more Hellfires. 2 more kills. The northern escape route is closed. Overwatch 2 handles the southern group. 3 boats trying to escape. Machine gun fire disables 2. The 3rd boat surrenders. The pirates throw their weapons overboard. Raise their hands. Smart choice. The alternative is a Hellfire missile. 0356 hours. The shooting stops. 12 pirate boats destroyed. 4 disabled and adrift. 3 surrendered. At least 80 pirates dead. 47 captured. The rest scattered into the darkness or drowned. The convoy continues on course. Not a single cargo ship was boarded. Not a single crew member was injured. Not a single piece of cargo was lost. USS McFall accomplished its mission. But now comes the difficult part. What to do with 47 captured pirates? Wait for the legal and diplomatic nightmare this created. It's complicated. 0410 hours. The destroyer's boarding teams approach the surrendered boats. Small boats launch from USS McFall. Navy SEALs provide security. The pirates are zip-tied, searched for weapons. Each prisoner is photographed and documented. The boarding teams find evidence. GPS units with marked waypoints, satellite phones, lists of ships. This wasn't random piracy. This was organized crime. The pirates are transferred to USS McFall. They're held in temporary detention areas. The ship's medical staff treats wounded prisoners. International law requires humane treatment even for pirates. But here's the problem. What happens next? The United States can't just hold them indefinitely. They need to be prosecuted. But where? In what court? Under whose jurisdiction? Somali law? The country barely has a functioning government. U.S. federal court? That requires extradition and complex legal procedures. International tribunal? Those take years. The legal framework for dealing with pirates in 2024 is surprisingly unclear. This becomes a diplomatic issue. January 14th, 1200 hours. 8 hours after the battle. The State Department is already involved. Discussions with Somalia's transitional government. Kenya offers to take the prisoners for prosecution. The European Union wants some transferred to their courts. Everyone has opinions. Nobody wants responsibility. Meanwhile, USS McFall continues toward the Suez Canal with 47 pirates in custody. The destroyer becomes a floating prison. The crew has to guard prisoners, maintain combat readiness, and complete the convoy escort mission. It's not what they signed up for, but they handle it professionally. January 16th. The convoy reaches the Suez Canal. The cargo ships proceed to Europe. Their mission is complete. USS McFall diverts to Djibouti. The prisoners will be transferred to shore facilities while legal proceedings are sorted out. The battle is over. The diplomacy begins. January 20th. The prisoners arrive in Mogadishu. After complex negotiations, 42 pirates are transferred to Somali custody. Somalia agrees to prosecute them under their anti-piracy laws. The remaining 5 are held by the United States for federal prosecution. They were identified as leaders, organizers of the attack. They'll face life sentences if convicted. The legal process will take years. Appeals, delays, legal challenges. But the important thing is accomplished. These pirates are off the sea. They won't attack anyone else. Navy warfare has the intelligence analysis. According to intelligence sources, the January 14th attack was supposed to be piracy's big comeback. 3 major pirate crews cooperated. They pooled resources, recruited over 250 men, invested in boats, weapons, equipment. The plan was to capture a high-value U.S. military convoy, hold the cargo ships for ransom, demand tens of millions of dollars, use that money to fund expanded operations. It was an ambitious plan, maybe even a good plan, but it failed spectacularly. Instead of a successful hijacking, the pirates suffered catastrophic losses. 12 boats destroyed, 80+ dead, 47 captured, millions in equipment lost, their best leaders in custody. The pirate network that planned this attack is broken. It will take years to rebuild. Maybe it never will. The message was delivered clearly. Attacking U.S. military convoys is suicide. But the broader question remains, is piracy coming back? Intelligence assessments are mixed. Somalia's stability hasn't improved. Poverty continues. Opportunity remains limited. The conditions that created piracy still exist. But the risk-reward calculation changed on January 14th. Pirates now know that international naval forces will respond with overwhelming force. No warnings, no negotiations, just immediate, devastating firepower. That changes the economics of piracy. When your success rate drops to near zero and your casualty rate approaches 100%, piracy stops being profitable. Justified use of force or excessive? Comment J for justified, E for excessive. Let's talk about the weapons and systems that won this battle. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer is America's workhorse surface combatant. USS McFall is Flight 2A variant, 505 feet long, 9,200 tons, crew of 323. It's designed to fight submarines, aircraft, and missiles. Fighting pirates is almost insultingly beneath its capabilities, but the destroyer's systems adapted perfectly. The 5-inch Mk-45 gun is the key weapon for surface targets. It fires 20 rounds per minute. Each shell weighs 70 pounds. Range, 13 nautical miles. The high explosive shells are devastating against small boats. During the January 14th battle, the gun fired 37 rounds. 11 direct hits on pirate skiffs. Each hit obliterated the target. Fiberglass boats can't withstand naval artillery. The Phalanx CIWS proved equally effective. Designed to shoot down missiles traveling at Mach 2, it had no problem tracking boats doing 40 knots. The system fired 847 rounds. 4 pirate boats destroyed. The autonomous targeting meant the system engaged threats faster than human operators could. Technology versus pirates. Not a fair fight. The MH-60R Seahawk helicopters were force multipliers. Each helicopter essentially doubled the destroyer's engagement area. While the ship handled direct threats, the helicopters intercepted flanking attacks. The helicopters fired 2,400 rounds of 7.62 meters ammunition. 6 Hellfire missiles. 9 pirate boats destroyed or disabled. The aerial perspective was crucial. From 500 feet, the pilots could see the entire tactical picture. That situational awareness prevented any pirates from slipping past. The radar systems deserve mention too. The AN Spy 1D radar tracked every pirate boat simultaneously. The fire control computers prioritized targets, calculated engagement sequences, optimized weapons employment. Human operators made the final decisions. But the technology provided perfect information. That's the advantage of modern naval systems. Everything is integrated. Radar feeds fire control. Fire control directs weapons. Weapons engagement data feeds back to tactical displays. Every system talks to every other system. The pirates never had a chance. Now let's discuss the human side. The crew of USS McFall executed flawlessly under pressure. From the watch officer who first detected the threat to the commanding officer, who made engagement decisions, to the weapons operators who fired the guns, to the helicopter crews who pursued fleeing pirates. Everyone did their job perfectly. This is what training produces. The Navy spends millions training each sailor. Thousands of hours in simulators. Hundreds of drills. Constant evaluation and improvement. When real combat occurs, the training takes over. Decisions happen automatically. Actions flow naturally. There's no panic, no hesitation, just professional execution of practice skills. The commanding officer made approximately 40 tactical decisions during the 29-minute engagement. Each decision was made in seconds. Engage or hold fire, pursue or let go, escalate or de-escalate. Every decision was correct. That's not luck. That's experience combined with training. The commanding officer has 22 years of naval service. He's commanded ships in combat zones. He's trained for every conceivable scenario. When 250 pirates attacked his convoy, he already knew what to do. The same is true for the rest of the crew. The junior sailor who operates the CIWS performed perfectly. The helicopter pilots who engaged fleeing pirates showed exceptional judgment. The boarding teams who secured prisoners maintained professionalism, even toward people who just tried to kill them. This is what Navy warfare covers. Not just the weapons and ships, the people who operate them. Drop your prediction. Will this defeat end Somali piracy permanently, or will they adapt and return? Navy warfare needs your assessment. February 2024. The aftermath continues. Maritime insurance rates in the Gulf of Aden decrease by 15%. Shipping companies see the results of the January 14th battle. Pirates got crushed. Naval forces proved they can protect convoys. The risk calculation improves. Ships are safer. Insurance is cheaper. Trade flows more freely. That's the strategic impact. One battle in the middle of the night created economic ripples across the global shipping industry. March 2024. Piracy incidents in the Gulf of Aden dropped to near zero. The pirates who survived January 14th spread the word. Attacking protected convoys is death. The U.S. Navy doesn't negotiate, doesn't take prisoners unless you surrender immediately, doesn't show mercy to active threats. The message reverberates through pirate communities. Older pirates remember 2008-2012 when international navies eventually crushed piracy through constant pressure. They tell younger recruits, don't do it, it's not worth it. The cultural shift is significant. Piracy stops being seen as a viable career. The risks are too high, the rewards too uncertain. Young Somali men look for other opportunities. Legitimate work, fishing, trade, anything but piracy. April 2024. USS McFall returns to Norfolk. The crew receives commendations. The commanding officer gets a medal. The destroyer undergoes maintenance and resupply. In 6 months, they'll deploy again. Different ocean, different mission, but the same professionalism, the same training, the same results. That's what U.S. Navy destroyers do. They maintain security on the world's oceans. They protect commerce. They defeat threats. One ship, 323 crew members, against 250 pirates in 20 boats. The Navy won in 29 minutes. May 2024. Academic studies of the battle begin. Naval War College analyzes the tactics. What worked? What could be improved? The lessons get incorporated into training. Future destroyer crews will study USS McFall's actions on January 14th. They'll learn from the decisions, practice the procedures. Prepare for their own pirate encounters. The institutional knowledge grows. The Navy gets better. June 2024. Somalia's government announces a Coast Guard initiative. Using international funding, they'll establish patrol boats, train personnel, create a domestic anti-piracy force. The goal is to prevent piracy before it reaches international waters. It's a long-term solution. Building capacity takes years, but it's the only way to permanently solve the problem. External naval forces can suppress piracy, but only Somalia can end it. July 2024. The last January 14th, prisoners go on trial. The 5 pirates in U.S. custody face federal charges: piracy, assault on naval vessels, use of weapons and crime of violence. The evidence is overwhelming. Video from the destroyer, testimony from the crew, physical evidence from the captured boats. The defense attorneys argue the pirates were desperate, driven by poverty, victims of circumstances. The jury doesn't buy it. 250 armed men attacking a military convoy isn't desperation. It's organized crime. Guilty on all counts. Sentences: life in prison. The 42 pirates in Somali custody receive varied sentences. The leaders get 25-30 years. The foot soldiers get 10-15 years. Some argue the Somali justice system is too harsh. Others argue they got off easy. They tried to hijack ships carrying military equipment. That's an act of war. They should be grateful they're alive. The debate continues, but the important thing is accomplished. The January 14th attack failed completely. The pirates gained nothing, lost everything, and the legal system held them accountable. August 2024, 6 months after the battle. Gulf of Aden shipping lanes are the safest they've been in 5 years. Piracy incidents remain near zero. The International Naval Coalition maintains patrols, but their workload is light. The pirates learned their lesson. Navy warfare has the final assessment. The January 14th battle was a turning point. Piracy's attempted comeback was crushed before it could gain momentum. The pirates tried to replicate the success of 2008-2011. They assembled a large force, planned a coordinated attack, targeted high-value assets. Everything went wrong. They underestimated naval firepower. They underestimated crew training. They underestimated American resolve, and they paid the price. 80+ dead, 47 captured, their organization destroyed. The Gulf of Aden is safer because USS McFall and her crew did their job perfectly on that night in January. This is what Navy warfare covers: the battles that protect global commerce, the crews that maintain security on the seas, the operations that most people never hear about. January 14th, 2024, 3:27 a.m., 250 pirates attacked a U.S. military convoy. By 3:56 a.m., the threat was eliminated. 29 minutes, 1 destroyer, 0 friendly casualties. Complete victory. That's the U.S. Navy. That's what dominance looks like. And that's why pirates are finished in the Gulf of Aden. Subscribe to Navy Warfare, because the real stories are happening on the world's oceans. Real battles, real consequences, real coverage. The fight against piracy continues. New threats emerge, but the Navy will be ready. They always are.